I want to talk a little bit about staying in your own lane, or actually not staying in your own lane. My name is Courtney. I'm a digital artist turned clay maker, clay enthusiast, hobbyist, whatever you want to call it. I like to just call myself an artist. So today I want to talk a little bit about staying in your own lane, or actually the opposite of that, which is you don't have to stay in your own lane. I really do believe you don't have to stay in your own lane. So one of the things I'm going to do while we chat, I'm going to paint some of these pieces that I made. Ooh, I can show you this one here. So this is one of the ones that I made. Is actually an incense holder. I might actually light that here while I'm recording this. And this is just like a little cute, oh Lord, trinket dish. Got little strawberries on it. So fun fact, this is actually the very first clay piece that I've ever made. I just made this, a couple months ago? I've been doing this for a few months now. So this is my very first piece. Isn't it cute? I love it. And this is actually my second piece. So, and this is the one we're actually gonna paint today. It's like a cute little dish. I already sanded it. These are all hand sculpted, by the way, and it's air dry clay if you were wondering. But I already sanded it and primed it, so it's ready for some paint. So I'm just gonna put this one to the side. Okay, actually no, because my water cup is over there, and if you know anything about air dry clay, you do not want to get water on this. It's unsealed. You ain't gonna have a piece no more, okay? It's gonna be gone. So let me move this. I'll be right back. And I actually decided I'm gonna try to light this. So, okay, I think that's good. So we'll see how long I keep this lit. The smoke might be a bit much. So we'll see. I might not actually keep this lit for too long. But, all right. So staying in your own lane. One of the reasons why I wanted to talk about this is because, like I said, I am a digital artist turned artist. I like to just call myself an artist now. If you watched my last video that I uploaded here, let me start getting this stuff together. If you watched my last video that I uploaded, I did talk a little bit about, well, not talk, it was more of like a really cool music video with like some really great R&B sounds, and I just kind of typed and put my story like down below. I love those videos where they have like the little text down below and it's all like cozy and lo-fi. Mine wasn't lo-fi, it was more of like R&B hip hop. But if you didn't watch that video, wow, I have paint already on my hands. If you didn't watch that video, I'll share a little bit about my story. So I was always like a really creative kid. I love all types of creative things. Like I was doing arts and crafts. I would sew and make my own doll clothes. I would, any arts and craft kit that you could have as a kid. Well, no, I didn't have everyone because baby, we wasn't able to get all of them, but I had a lot of them. So I would do all types of stuff. I used to sketch, draw, all that. But I feel like once I got to be a teenager, I found graphic design and digital art, and I fell in love with it. Like when I fell into it, like I was locked in. Like I wasn't really doing a lot of like physical art, and I did that for many years. I ended up going to school for graphic design, communication design. I got a scholarship to undergrad university for graphic arts, and then I ended up going to get my MFA in communication design. So when I say I was locked in, like I was locked in. And I had a career in digital art, graphic design for many years. But recently I realized that I kind of missed some of those creative pursuits that I had as a child. One of those being like more like hands-on things. And I didn't really notice it at first. I kind of got into like 3D art, 3D like design, trying to learn 3D software. But as I was like in these tools, I kept feeling like, I just want to get my hands in it. I just want to get my hands in it and like mold these things myself. And I feel like I was just so stuck, like tunnel vision, like digital. that it took me a minute to realize, like, wait, I actually have a lot of things that I want to pursue and I want to create, and I feel like I am really like limiting myself. So when I talk about staying in your own lane, that's why I feel like it's so important to talk about, like, you don't have to stay in your own lane. Just because you've been doing something a certain way for a long time, like, it doesn't mean that you have to continue to stay on that path. I feel like you should make space. Ooh, I actually like this blue. I think I'm gonna go with this blue. Can you see? You probably can't see that well, but I think I like this blue. I think I'm gonna do like a blue paint with maybe some clouds. Let me see how we like that. I might actually do this navy blue either on the trim or on the inside. I don't know. But I feel like for a lot of years, because I felt this way for a while, that I really wanted to like explore, like even like print design or things like that. Like, I don't know, I feel like I want to explore like a lot of different things, but I kind of just, I want to kind of say that I was telling myself this story of like, well, I'm a digital artist, I'm a digital designer, like digital is what I do and digital is what I love. And I don't want to seem like a flip-flopper almost, like constantly jumping from one thing to the next, because if you know me, like I do have a lot of interest in, I'm like, oh, I want to try this thing, I want to try this thing. And I don't think that's bad. I feel like, I will say that I feel like I internalized a lot of things that may not have been like externally displayed to me, but I feel like I was telling myself this story of like, well, people are going to feel like you're trying to do too many things, like you're kind of bouncing around, you're flip, whatever you want to call it, right? And I was just like, I don't care. I say that now, but it took me a long time to get there. Like, I swear, it's been years since I felt like, oh my gosh, I have this interest over here, I have this interest over there, I have so many things that I want to do. And I feel weird constantly telling people in my life, like, oh, I have this thing I want to try, I want to do this. Oh, this is a business idea that I want to try, I want to do this. So I kind of just stopped talking about it because I felt like I was almost afraid of being perceived as someone who didn't really know what they wanted to do with their life. And it's not to say that people in my life made me feel that way. I feel like it was just a lot of like internalized things. But I will say, just do the thing. I feel like we're here and have so many interests and ideas and passions. I don't think any person, I guess I should finally start painting, because I'm just talking and yapping, because once I get going, I'm a yapper. You should see me trying to edit these videos. Oh my gosh, I'm like, you talk a lot, girl, but that is not a bad thing. One thing I should say, I'm not a professional painter. I used to paint a little bit when I was a kid, but like I said, I got more into like digital art. And I need a paper towel. Hold on. Like, I got really heavy into digital art, so I kind of fell off of like all these physical creative avenues. And the last time I did any painting was in undergrad when I had a painting class, because if you went to art school, design school, you know they have you do all types of stuff, like drawing classes, painting classes, like all types of stuff. So I haven't painted since undergrad. So if you watch my last painting video, you probably figure that out. But look, you don't know unless you try. So we're gonna try. But I think I really want to do clouds on this. Yeah, and I do like this blue. So anyway, sorry, we're supposed to be painting and I'm just talking. What was I gonna say? Yeah, so I have lost my train of thought. Oh my gosh. Staying in your own lane. Let's see. I think I was going to say, pretty much the gist of it is, I feel like growing up or back in the day, staying in your lane had almost like a different meaning. I feel like staying in your own lane, I like this blue, has taken on like different meanings over the years. And maybe just for me, let me just speak for myself. And I feel like one of those things that made me feel like have to stay in my own lane. Okay, I did not take into account how hard it might be to paint and talk at the same time. I'm like, I just want to talk while I paint. Let's talk while we paint. But I feel like over the years, like staying in your own lane kind of got a different connotation. And maybe just for me, because I'll speak for myself, I took it to mean you just kind of just do what you are known to do. Do what you have been doing almost. And I don't think that's the right like meaning of it, you know? I feel like you don't have to stay doing the same thing just because it's what you've been doing or what you've been known for. That just feels silly to me. And I told myself for like many years, I feel like I told myself this story for many years that I'm a designer, I'm an artist, like that's my thing. Let me just work within this thing because it's something that I really, really enjoy. But I wasn't giving myself space to grow. I feel like I wasn't giving myself space to really grow. I almost felt like I was putting myself in a box, trying to stay in my own lane, even when it felt like I needed something more. And so I don't feel like we're supposed to go our whole life just trying to stay the same person, do the same thing just because we've been doing it. Like, don't be afraid to like go outside of the norm. Don't be afraid to actually try the things that you're interested in. I almost feel like, and maybe this is just like generations before us, things were a lot different. I feel like they would, work the same job for like 40, 50 years and then retire and that's it. You know what I mean? And I just feel like, I almost feel like our generations now, or at least like younger generations, kind of see things a little different. And they want to try new things. They want to like explore new careers and jobs. They do say you could probably have like 2 or 3 jobs within a lifetime. And I've heard that before. But anyway, I'm getting off track. That's not what I was supposed to be talking about. But anyway, what I was saying is like, don't be afraid to like step outside of the norm and your normal way of doing things. Like with me being a digital artist and a graphic designer for so many years, I will not lie. I felt like I was kind of afraid to try something new. Like I was afraid of trying something that I didn't really have experience with, or like I didn't really feel super comfortable with. And I think that's also like the perfectionist in me, in a way, of feeling like I have to kind of have everything perfect before I try something new, which sounds crazy because it is. Like that makes no sense. That makes no sense. Like, so that's one of the reasons why I have been like kind of documenting my journey almost of learning something new and trying something new, because I just kind of want to, first of all, see my progress as I grow. But also I felt like for a long time with like social media, I felt like I was trying to force things, and especially like running a business. Oh, I hope this is dry. One thing about acrylic paints, oh baby, they dry. This is so helpful. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I felt the need to show up on social media a certain way, and I felt like I was limiting myself, which is one of the reasons why I rebranded. If you guys saw that video, maybe I posted a couple videos back, but yeah, I just feel like it's not necessary to just stay doing the same thing just because it's what you've always done or it's what you've been known for. That's really silly. Like, to think that you're supposed to just keep doing the same thing just because that's how it's been. It's crazy. I feel like we've come here as human beings. If you believe in anything with spirituality, whatever, like, we, from my perspective, I feel like we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And I believe that part of that human experience is us actually experiencing life. It doesn't mean, just doing the same thing you've been doing, living every day the same, years and years and years trying to do the same thing. And if that's your journey, that's your path, that's great, because everyone has a different path. But if you have felt like you've been called to a different path or trying something new, doing something new, lean into that. Lean into that. You may not get it perfect at first, because unless you're like a prodigy of some sort, that's expected. As someone who has dealt with and still dealing with like perfectionist tendencies, doing something like this, going from like digital to physical mediums, was actually really helpful for me. And I didn't realize how much I needed that, because when you're doing digital art, like, you can just backspace, you can just undo, make a copy, duplicate the file, try something new. Like, it's really easy to start over or pivot to a new design. But when you're working with like physical stuff, I can't sit there tinkering with something for 3 hours trying to like get it perfect. It is what it is. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's like, you put this paint on this piece of clay, it's on there. There is no undo unless you want to try to coat it again in white. And I don't know how that will work, because like I said, I am not a professional painter. I just started painting again very recently. So this has helped me with some of the like perfectionist tendencies. I feel like it's also helped me to like slow down a lot more, because I find myself moving really, really fast, trying to like get things done. And I think a lot of that stems from when I was in grad school. I picked up some unhealthy habits, I would say, but they were useful, and they still are useful in some ways. But I picked up some habits of like being very, what I like to say, efficient, which sometimes means doing too much, doing it too fast. My hair is like crazy. And I'm trying to get to a space where I'm like getting out of that tendency to do that. So real quick, I just want to show you guys. So we got this like sky blue color. What y'all think? I think it looks cute. I may layer this because it is a little soft. I may layer this with a different shade of blue. What y'all think? And I actually think, oh, I have an idea. It just came to me. I think I'm going to do clouds on the outside, and then on the inside, maybe do some stars with like this deep navy color. What y'all think? I think that could be really cool. And maybe I'll find like a blue somewhere in the middle to put around the perimeter. Oh, is this darker? Hold on, let me try to sit this down. What y'all think? This is a dark blue versus navy. Y'all think we should do navy or dark blue? Honestly, I'm not sure. So what I like to do, which is why I'm painting on this parchment paper, I don't know if y'all can see, I like to kind of test it out first. I guess this is fine. No, I'll use this one. I like to kind of test out the colors first to see like which one is better. Actually, let me put this here. And I'll try this one here. But like I was saying, I really don't believe like we came here to just be stuck in the same routines, doing the same things over and over. I think the beauty of life and the beauty of us, experiencing life is that we get to explore and experiment. You know what I mean? I like this color. I think I'm gonna go with this color. We get to, as much as we can, try to explore all of our different interests. I feel like most of us have, multiple interests, especially if you are what do they call multi-hyphenate creator, multi-hyphenate artist, multi-hyphenate passionate person, whatever they call them. I feel like they have words for everything. But if you are someone like that, oh my gosh, I don't remember which blue was what. I don't remember. I think this was the navy. But like, if you have a lot of interest, I feel like you should lean into them. Like, try them. Why not? If you don't like it, if it doesn't work out, then it just didn't. But you don't know unless you actually go for it and, try. I think I'm going to do another coat on this. So, like I was saying, I feel like, should I do another coat on this first? Or should I do the inside of this first? Okay, to all my artists who paint, tell me, should I do a second coat on the outside first? Or should I start painting the inside first? Let me know down below in the comments. Not like I'll see them right now in this moment, but it'd be good to know for future reference, I think I'm just going to go with a second coat here first. So, I feel like it's crazy to feel like you have to stay doing something just because it's the way it's always been or that's the way you've always done it. I really feel like people should give themselves space to grow and experiment and explore, because I feel like that's the beauty of life. I really do feel like that's the beauty of life. Getting the opportunity to just try new things and new experiences and enjoy this life. I feel like it's so important to enjoy this life, and part of the process of enjoying your life is following your passions, So if anyone has ever told you you need to stay in your own lane, you know what I say to that? You don't. You really don't. I just feel like the term or the idea of staying in your own lane is just another way to try to keep you small in a box. And there's nothing small about you. There's nothing small about your ideas. There's nothing small about your desires. So if I had any advice right now, I definitely would say go for it. Live your dreams. Follow your desires. If you change your mind in a year, in a month, in a week, in a day, if you change your mind tomorrow, if you go out today and say, you know what, I'm going to do this thing, I'm going to try it, and it don't work out, you don't like it, you decide, you know what, maybe I'll give it some time, even in a week, a year, if it doesn't work out, if it's not what you thought it was going to be, ain't nothing wrong with that. At least you tried. So at the very least, I feel like that's what you can say. At least you got something out of it. At least you tried. Because you don't know if you don't try. So even though I know it can be scary, I think I'm going to try to sit this down like this. Even though I feel like it can be scary to try new things, it can be scary to step out of the lane that you've created for yourself, or maybe someone else created it for you. But that is no reason. Oh my gosh, I'm on this white table. That is no reason to put your other dreams on hold. There's no reason to put your other dreams on hold. So go for it. Trust the process. It may not always, work out immediately, but just try. You don't know if you don't try. So that's what I say. Bump staying in your own lane. We ain't got to do that. So that's all I have to say. I feel like I just rambled and rambled and rambled. Yes, I knew this was the navy. I really like this navy blue. But I think that was it. I'll record another video and you guys can see the outcome of this, but I just wanted to kind of like get some things off my chest and talk a little bit about things that have been on my mind, things that I've dealt with in the past, you know, things that I've been worried about in the past, as far as like feeling like I need to quote unquote stay in my lane. I don't think you need to do that. Do what works for you. If there's something you want to explore, go for it. Don't be afraid to try new things. That is the beauty of life. That is the joy of life, getting to experience new things, try new things, explore your passions. I think it's really important because those passions that you have, they're there for a reason. They didn't just pop up out of nowhere. I really do believe that a lot of us come here with different paths and journeys that we are meant to explore as human beings in these human bodies. And you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't even attempt to just kind of like even exploring it in your mind. You know, I feel like some of us don't even take the time to even allow ourselves to explore ideas in our head, let alone like physically going out and doing it and making that happen. It can be really difficult. So I implore you to, even if it's just taking some time in your head to just think about what it is that brings you joy, what lights you up, what makes you happy, what is something that really piqued your interest, whether scrolling on social media, on Pinterest, on TikTok. Just want to pour out a little bit for TikTok. Hopefully it's still here. We'll see. But yeah, like one of the things that piqued my interest with clay is because, like, first of all, I've always been really interested in like clay, ceramics. I love it. Even like mugs and stuff like that. Like I love mugs and all that stuff. Decor items. Like I've really been interested in it. But like to me, it was like, oh, that's an interest. It felt like it was like outside, right? It's outside of myself. But as I started to like come across more things, I was like, maybe this is something I could do. Maybe it's a hobby that I could try. Like I have a whole folder of hobbies that I want to try because I feel like I said, like I feel like we should try. Like if you have different hobbies or things that interest you or things that pique your interest, like, oh wow, that seems really cool. Just write a note. Leave a little note, make a list of all the different like hobbies and things that have like piqued your interest, and just pick one. Even if you just pick one within the next 30 days. Within the next 30 days. Just pick one and say, all right, for the next 30 days, I'm gonna, research, figure out what I need to do to, actually start doing this hobby. Make a list of everything you need. Like with the air dry clay, I literally just made a list. All right, what do I need? Okay, I need clay, I need some tools, I need some paint because I want to paint the clay, glaze, like do whatever research, watch videos on YouTube, TikTok, all that, and just make a list. And maybe there are some things you can get secondhand, get them on sale. Michael's is really good about having like different sales and coupons. Maybe even Amazon. I feel like you might be able to get some stuff on there if it's like crafty stuff. Maybe it's joining a class, taking a class. The library, I will say, libraries, depending on your city, might have different like free classes and free resources and things like that you can try, so it doesn't cost you any money. But yeah, just try it. That's all I would say. Take it from me, someone who thought of herself as far as the artistic part of things. Like I thought of myself as a digital artist, and I didn't see anything like beyond that because I was limiting myself, even though internally I did feel like there were other things I wanted to do. And I'm like, no, I'm more than just a digital artist. I'm more than just a graphic designer, web designer. Like I'm more than these things. Like as far as like who I am, I'm more than just an artist. But for this particular thing right here, like, yeah, I'm just an artist, period. You know what I mean? So don't limit yourself. Don't feel like you have to stay in your lane. Go for what you want. I'm obviously not finishing this painting in this video, so yeah, watch the next video. It's more about me just kind of like talking to get something off my chest. I have other things that I want to talk about, so I'll probably record some other stuff here and you'll see that video. But yeah, that's all I have for today. Again, like I said, don't stay in your own lane. Get out of the lane. Find a new lane, quote unquote. You know what? Forget the lane altogether. Just be you. You know what I mean? Be you. Chart your own path. Forget about the lanes. Just chart your own path. Be your own person. Whatever it looks like for you, just go for it. I wish you well. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't do something. I'm telling you, do not let anyone, not even yourself. Don't even let yourself try to tell you that you can't do something, that you can't change, because you can. And I think a lot of times we tell ourselves different stories that may not be the most positive. But if you can just find an affirmation or mantra that is relative to whatever you may be dealing with in that moment, just say that every day. Wake up in the morning, look at yourself in the mirror and say, I am blank. I have this. I can do whatever I want. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Whatever, you know what I mean? Like whatever floats your boat, whatever attitude you want to project in that moment, like just go for that, because only you know what's best for you. Only you know what's right for you. So I want to leave you guys with a Magik Jem. I am literally recording on my phone right now, so I can't pull it out. So let me just take a minute to see what comes up for me in this moment. You know what? I think that's it. Today's Magik Jem is chart your own path. You don't got to stay in your lane. You don't have to stay in nobody's lane. Chart your own path. Be your own person, because you are beautiful, you are magnificent, and you are great. Just as you are, there's literally only one you. There's literally one you, one of one. There's nobody else in this whole entire world like you. So chart your own path and let's make it happen. Make it happen. Let's go. All right, you guys. If you like this video and you want to see more videos like this and hear me just kind of talk and ramble and yap while I am painting and trying my new crafts, let me know down below if this is something that you guys like, and if there are any other topics that you want to hear from me here on this channel. If anything else you want me to talk about, yap about, if you want to hear anything else, feel free to let me know down below. And if you like this video, if you like this content, you can also check out this video here. This video here is me painting my very first clay pieces. So go ahead and check it out. It's a paint clay with me video. As a newbie painter or re-emerging painter, whatever you want to call it. And subscribe for more videos like this. Peace, y'all. Have a blessed day. Sending you lots of love. Okay, bye. Okay, y'all, I just wanted to come on real quick and show you guys my progress with this clay piece. This is the inside with like this starry night sky. Like I said, I am still working on my painting technique, so don't judge me, okay? And this is the sides. I think it's really cute. You have like this cute little cloudy day on the outside and then nighttime on the inside. And on the bottom, I did this really cute freestyle design. I actually think it works really well here, and it was really cool to just kind of freestyle a little bit. Even though all this was freestyle, I didn't use any stencils. As you guys can probably tell, it's very much hand painted, but I had fun with this here on the back. I thought that was really cool, and I actually love how it looks all together. I may try a version where I put this painted design on the inside, but I kind of just like the way this looks by itself. Yeah, let me know what y'all think. I just wanted to come on real quick and show y'all this. And in the next video, I'll probably have this all glazed and stuff. I'm gonna let this paint dry a little bit more and see if I need to add any more coats or anything. But in the next video, I'll show you guys what it looks like fully glazed and complete. All right, y'all. Bye.